the button.
Before YouTube is like, hey, you guys said you were going to go live.
Yeah, 9 o'clock my ass. Fashionably late. Killer style.
Let me look.
Don't go crazy on it. We're here.
Oh, no.
We're in the flesh.
You pointed it out. Now it's going to bother.
Gillon has a antlerless caribou in his lap.
Yeah.
All those Canadians just caribou in the home.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Should be a beaver, Michael.
Oh, God. Dude, how great would it be to have, like, if you could do it like a pet beaver, that thing would be awesome. Just like walking around, taking care of things around the house.
Ty was going to try to get a
so
porcupine
many things that could be said there.
I know, right? Yeah. Dude, I heard porcupines make horrible pets. They just knock things over.
Actually, well, they were going to try to get an African crested from a breeder in Florida or something.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone gets is those African ones, and they're supposed to be like super like cuddly and chill. However, they're like almost as bad as raccoons, where if they had thumbs, you'd hate them.
That would make sense.
So
apparently, the wild ones up here, you can in Alberta, you can just go up and pick them up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can just pick them right up. It's hilarious.
Why do I feel
because they're basically blind, so they can't see anything. Apparently, I've never tried, but my buddies have.
I feel like that's like some guy on a rig in Edmonton was like, "Guess what we'll get these dumb fucks to do? Watch this," you know. And it was like, "Oh, they're so cute! Like, I'll just pick one up. It bit me with its ass."
Oh, probably.
On that note,
the new level of hell with the quilling.
Yes. Stogies, Monday night, episode 246. Welcome to the show, kids. Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch. Smitty, take us in.
This episode, as always, brought to you by blackboxcages.com. Check them out, blackboxcages.com, Facebook, Instagram, blackboxcages. Use the code THN25. Check out, get 5% off your order. Save even more, choose the pickup option at checkout. Racks, cages, you know you need them. All sizes, shapes, combinations, LEDs, UVs, heat panels.
The goods.
The goods. I know I'm missing some stuff. There's so much stuff that I can't even remember as far as what you can add and customize. Really good quality racks, cages. We love them.
The best shipping of any enclosure I've ever acquired. Sorry, Sean Wagner. You know what I'm talking about. We love you, Sean. But
Phil has been in this industry for like 40 years.
It's not 40 years.
So he's been through a lot of cages and shipping of cages and things like that. But if he's saying that Black Box has the best, I feel like that's saying something. Now,
I did not get anything flat packed. I'm sure that would some assembly required on certain cages. I totally understand. But my for lack of a better word, 2x2s, whatever, came each time I purchased them, which is multiple times. I didn't buy, 9 of them at once or whatever, 6 of them at once, however many I have of those. But when they came, it was flawless. Good tape, the foam corners, everything was secured, nothing rattled. The glass was secured and taped perfect. Keys and locks and all the accoutrement, the lights, the cables, the what do you call them? Dimmer switches, the power boxes, all that shit. Tip top. The best shipping of any enclosure I've ever had.
It can survive FedEx. It can survive
anything. Exactly. Check them out.
Then also check out Fulvius Apparel and fulviusapparel.com. Hoodies, hats, shirts, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. Just put a new Centipede shirt up last night.
Nice.
And use the code THN at checkout there. Get 15% off your order. That is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. And if you're in Canada, y'all are the only ones that get international shipping anymore because all the people in Europe complain so much about having to pay taxes and things like that I have nothing to do with me that I said, y'all get nothing. I turned it off. But Canada, y'all are still cool, so y'all still get it.
Brothers to the north.
That's right. And it's getting snowy up there, I'd imagine. Because every time I think of Canada, I just think it's constantly under snow, like year-round to me. I really struggle with the concept that Canada is not a frozen wasteland all the time.
It's Hoff.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's Wampas just walking around.
Yeah. And the little Yeti things.
Yeah.
Um,
I did see somebody on Instagram was like, first snow of the year. I'm like, where the fuck do you live? I didn't get a chance to look.
I saw that too. I think that was we follow the same person because I saw it too. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it was like their porch or something, their patio.
Something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think maybe
Dakotas.
Alberta got snow yesterday, but we don't get snow till maybe January.
Oh, really?
If we even get snow.
We get snow on Halloween. I'd say 1 out of 2 Halloween, the kids are snowed over when they go in trick or treat.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. I was thinking about it. It's rained every Halloween for me for like almost 20 years. And not like rained out, but like every kid gets drizzled on.
You can't go trick or treating because it's
Yeah.
raining. It's basically what he's saying. It's
Yeah.
That's the same here because we live in a rainforest too.
Nice. At least you have forest. Mine's just
well, whatever forest is left.
Yeah, right.
Suburbia for miles.
Well, after you want to get inside and get warm, cozy up with your Fulvius apparel hoodie, and you want to just warm yourself from the inside, you want to get a cup of coffee. And if you're going to get a good cup of coffee, it's going to be cold-blooded caffeine. The Snakes and Stogies blend. Mexico and Rwanda just interweaved.
interweave them.
Just interweave them.
Yeah, many blends to choose from. We're partial. We are biased because it's ours, but you won't be disappointed with anything you get from Cold-Blooded Caffeine because all their coffee is just phenomenal. I have tried a good handful of it going up there and visiting Trey and their actual like
The good
spot, and it's all good. And I don't consider myself necessarily a coffee snob, but if someone tries to come at me with a K cup, I might chop them in the neck. So it's got to be good coffee.
Got to be good coffee.
They do make K cups too, which
if you're that kind of person,
if you bring me a K cup and it's from Cold-Blooded Caffeine, I will not chop you in the neck because they actually like really fill theirs with coffee. Because you ever notice K cups, like you shake them and there's like 30% coffee. It's like a bag of chips, like 30%
bag of
coffee
chips.
and
That's it.
70% air. Theirs are like straight up floor to ceiling coffee, like much stronger, much more what K cup should be.
What coffee should
basically
be.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Anything else that isn't that though is just,
Garbaggio.
Yeah. What are you smoking this evening?
I am smoking the Drew Estate Blackened Series S84 Shade 2 Black.
That is an interesting one.
It is an interesting one.
Have you had it before?
No. A very good friend of mine gave this one to me.
Who?
Is this the one you gave me?
At Daytona?
Yeah.
I gave you one? No, I gave you the other one. I gave you the darker one.
You gave me the black one, with the other black one?
Yeah.
Well, where the hell did this one come from? I didn't buy this.
No, I didn't give it to you.
I thought you gave me this. That's why I'm smoking it. That's why I saved it for tonight.
I have very mixed feelings on that cigar, so I doubt it was me.
Okay. You know what? I think you're right because I think I smoked that one with you in Daytona.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have no idea where this one came from.
Well, it's here now. So.
It's here now. And yourself, sir?
The old standby, just Nica Rustica Adobe.
Nice.
This is a 660. Raj was out of Toros, so I had to go with the next size up. But it's good. It's this has become my, I know I say it every time, but like this is the ones I just don't get tired of it.
Right.
Which is weird because usually after so many weeks I'll get tired of something and move on to something else. But like this has just been my old faithful, old reliable through and through. I'm curious to see what you think about that one compared to the other one, though, because that one, when I first had it, I was really not crazy about it. But
well, I'll tell you right now,
a little bit, They definitely get better with a little bit of time on the shelf.
The filler is super like loose, like real loose, and then that Connecticut just went lit real quick.
Yeah, they're good. It just like I said, I had to try it a couple times before I really came around to it. But initially, compared to the other one, I was like, I'm not sure about it. But
not a lot going on.
Give it a little bit of time.
All right, but we have guests. Our guests, are you guys imbibing any adult vices this evening?
Yeah, just a little rum and Coke.
Nice, Dom.
Classic.
I did a glass of wine with the wife, and now I'm taking coffee to make sure I don't fall asleep on you guys, because
That's good.
I get up really, really early, and I got to get up really early again. So coffee is the only thing that'll get me through. So I can add Kahlua or something in there if you want, but
no, it's entirely up to you, my friend. Entirely up to you.
Just coffee.
So Gillon's got this 8-ball here.
No, not for me.
Man, why are they all popping pixie sticks? Just
wow. Yeah. So we're here. Dom and Michael have recently, within the last, it's been like 2 months.
Yeah,
more than that, right?
I'd say a little more.
Beginning of July, we started. I think it was Canada Day weekend. We started it. So yeah, ever since then, every single week we've had one, and we one weekend we doubled up. So now we're a week ahead theoretically.
Excellent.
But we lost one, so technically we're on time.
Yeah,
I always wanted to do it ahead of time like that and record them, and then I can just release them whenever I want. And I'm like, I never actually could commit to it and do it that way. So
yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough.
We like to play it fast and loose here. We don't have a plan until like 48 hours out,
if that,
at best.
At best.
So, yeah, it's there's been a couple Canadian podcasts sort of over the years, and I
think Foddy is still doing his.
Yeah.
I mean, Foddy's the man. Like,
oh
Foddy
yeah,
Foddy is the man. Like, let's just be real.
Oh yeah, I saw him twice in a matter of a month.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, him and Danielle are awesome. It was awesome to get to hang out with him and stay up till 2:00 in the morning.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, Reptile Rejects.
Yep.
How'd the name come about?
How did the name come about, Michael?
I think, we were just like throwing names back and forth when it was like, hey, we should like start a podcast, because at that point it was like NPR was they were in that lull, and then even I think Smitty was in the lull too there of not really sure what he wanted to really do. So it was like, we should do something to fill that, just to do what we know that we like to listen to, and we know others will listen to as well.
It's the best way to do it, man. Best way to do it.
I know. We just we're like throwing names back and forth, and then we're like, well, that one sounds good. Let's go with that one.
Well, and I'm pretty sure you had the name on your YouTube or whatever on our show before like the podcast was a thing. Because I remember seeing that. I was like, Reptile, and then you hit it. It was like, hey man, it's Gillon. What do you think of the new logo? I was like, that's awesome.
I think you made that logo in like 5 minutes too.
Actually, well, I think my friend sent me the logo. She like just AI'd it immediately and sent it to me, and I was like, okay, that works. Let's do that.
Rock and roll.
I don't think it was supposed to stick though.
Yeah, I think the other logo we came up didn't look good, so we had to change from that.
Oh, jeez.
Remember?
Oh, I remember it. Let's not go too much into details, but it definitely looked like a male part. Let's just put it that way.
Nice.
You didn't even notice it. I showed it to my wife, and she's like, "You know what that looks like, right?" I'm like, "Oh."
The Microsoft snake doesn't look very good, and they only had like 2 reptiles on the weird Microsoft symbols for using like Word or something. It was like, okay, we got to pivot from here.
All right.
So what was the Michael? You're the one who wanted to start it. How did you come across? How did you land on Dom for being the person you wanted to do it with, or
yeah? How'd you guys get linked up?
Yeah.
Well, I think me and Dom have been kind of chatting the last few years already. And then he's obviously been on NPR several times, and he's pretty good behind the mic. And it was like, well, if I'm going to do a podcast with somebody in Canada, I think I'm going to hit up Dom first because and plus he's on the other side of the country. He keeps different stuff than I do, and he's older than me. So it's like that whole variation that we need to probably do like a good podcast and hit all the different aspects that we want to hit.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing one for years, but computer-wise, I suck. I can't do any of that. And I told him, like, I can do it, but I'll just be the face that talks. I can't do any of the things behind the screen, but I'll be there. I initially wanted to do it with one of my buddies, but we kept the same thing. We're the same age. Our collection is basically the same. And I was like, honestly, it's going to be boring. Like, we're just going to be talking about the same thing to everybody. And then Michael is basically the, let's be honest, the polar opposite, right? Like, you're the age of my son. I'm old. You keep colubrids and boas. I don't have a colubrid or a boa in my entire collection. I felt like it worked well because we were so different that he wants to bring on guests. And I'm like, who's that? And I'm like, okay, I'll make it work. And then I'm always trying to bring it back to pythons. He's always trying to bring it back to boas and colubrids. So really, in the end, it kind of works. And whenever we have a guest that's like a little bit everywhere, I can see he tries to bring it somewhere. And then eventually I'm like trying to pull back the show and bring it back somewhere else so that I can be a little bit more interested. So overall, I find that, you know, if you're too alike, I don't think it's too good. But I mean, the kid was smart. He talks well. He knows his shit. So to me, it worked.
Excellent.
I think it's good to have that, though, because you have perspectives at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of like keeping stuff. You know, I think there's a lot of insight to be gained if you're getting into snakes, but you were keeping monitors before that, or, you know, stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of things that can be adopted from other corners of the hobby, to things that maybe you wouldn't think would apply to the thing you're coming into, if that makes sense. So I agree. I think that definitely does keep things interesting and opens up more avenues for, you know, certain questions and things. Like if you're talking about colubrids and Dom isn't a colubrid guy, like he might recognize something that he recognizing carpets or something and say, hey, is it, you know, is A like X, Y, and Z, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. And I think it brings another angle for things.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I feel like even with Eric and Owen, like Owen's a bit younger, and Eric's into one part of python keeping, and Owen's into other pythons as well as colubrids and boas too. So it, like, even they have that kind of different perspective, even though they are fairly alike, but that kind of happens over time too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So how does it feel to be on that side of the podcast? Like, do you feel that things are going exactly as planned, or is it I don't want to be rude and say like a learning curve kind of thing? How do you guys feel about it?
Well, there's definitely a learning curve with like anything. Like, I definitely thought it was going to be harder than it actually was. Like, for the most part, if stuff goes well, it's not too bad, because most of the time I don't need to edit anything. I just add the sub caption, like the captions thing, and then upload it to Spotify. Obviously check the volumes a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Make sure that's good. But then other than that, it's usually good. But it does get annoying when audio doesn't upload right and stuff, and then you got to edit stuff. So that part's definitely more difficult, and I definitely need to learn a lot more. Like, I'm not a big computer guy either. I've just learned enough to do what.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way, man. Learn just enough to get in trouble.
Yeah, and it also, as a host and co-host, you definitely learn that, like, when you see other podcasters like Eric or Owen, and Owen says something that you're like, oh, he knows that he knows that's not right or whatever, and then you're like in the position and you're like, yeah, no, I can see how, like, you're in the moment and you forget things, and you don't necessarily talk as clearly as you want to talk, because sometimes you start stumbling a little bit, and that definitely happens. So then you realize, like, this is just a part of it, and you just roll with it.
You realize how many times in a sentence or paragraph you say well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you know what I mean? Like, how many times in a I don't do it because it would terrify me, but I'm sure if I got a little clicker, I could rack that thing up on, you know what I mean?
Dude, when I'm recording videos like for the channel, not necessarily podcast stuff, but like, you know, the Conicus video, whatever,
Mhm.
it got to the point to where I could see where I said in the sound waves because it looked exactly the same every time I did it. So I wouldn't even have to listen to it. I could go through and pick it out and chop it out. And like, it was funny because I'm like, oh my God, I say this a lot because it's always ums or uhs.
Or I've been guilty of saying right, like right question mark after I speak. And I try not to do that. It's a very bad habit. I don't want it to sound condescending. I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to convince the person of what I'm saying. But I am cognizant that I do it and something I need to curb for the future. So, but I would have never realized that had I not listened to myself on this crap.
Yeah, for sure.
The other thing I've noticed too is that the podcast's much better when you're just winging it, you're just talking, you're just going, and the conversation's not really like going where necessarily you want it to go. Like I know Michael's much more organized. He loves having his plot and his certain questions he wants to ask. And like the first few podcasts, like I was like, you can't read it, and I could see that he was reading. And I'm like, it just doesn't sound right. Like it sounds like you're reading it, and like to me, it's good to have like a one word and know where you're going, but that's about it. The rest should just be natural conversation, right? If it doesn't flow, man, it's painful to listen to when you can tell that somebody's reading it. Just like your introductions to your commercials. I mean, they're entertaining for commercials, right? And why is it? Because you're not reading it. You're just winging it, and it's entertaining, and it makes it at least that, well, if we're gonna have to listen to it, at least it's something fun. But if you listen to other podcasts, some people are literally reading their little blurb, and I find like I'm like on the button like plus 30 seconds, and it's
yeah.
So,
well, I appreciate that sincerely. I think that the way we're doing it is an all right is an all right way to do it. I know there's some people that say, man, you talk about your sponsors for too long, but I'd rather do the improv thing than honestly have people just press 15-second, 30-second, whatever. So I appreciate your comment. That's super helpful, man.
It'll be the only compliment of the night.
Thanks. Duly noted. Freaking Canadians. So, what's new with you guys is before we I know we already got into podcasting and like the foundation of you guys being together as a dynamic duo, but do you guys want to get into, because I feel like the point of this episode is to bullshit and have fun, as well as expose your guys' show more and showcase you guys to the best of our ability. Do you guys want to give us a little background as to like how you got into it and what you're keeping, or is that too cliche, Smitty?
That's why we tell people they can give us a long version of the clip.
Exactly.
We leave it up to you, because we know a lot of people it's the same for probably a solid 90% of us.
Dinosaurs and leopard geckos.
Believe it or not, we've actually haven't done it yet. We both haven't done it on our show and kept telling ourselves we're going to do it the next time we don't have a guest. And when we don't have a guest, we'll do a show on Michael. When we don't have a guest, we'll do a show on me.
All right.
And so far, we've had a guest every time. So I don't even think we've talked really much about each other at all, because we're holding off until it does happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we kind of hit it probably in like the opening one, but then obviously I think Dom's definitely hit it on NPR once or twice.
Yeah,
I think I have a few times, but yeah, that was a while ago.
That was then, you know. Yeah.
That's probably the first time I was on there, like 5 or 6 years ago. I've been a couple more times after, but that was a long time ago.
It's still awesome, man. Still awesome.
All right, Michael, you go first.
Already. Yeah, no, I started keeping snakes back in 2011, I think is when I got my first sandboa at the first ever reptile show I went to. And I still have him. He still breeds every time I throw him in with the female.
Hell yeah.
I got 14 baby sandboas that I'm going to ship off to my buddy in a couple weeks.
Cool.
Keeps it simple. Don't have to really get them started too much.
What kind of sandboas?
Just Kenyon's anery and head
Don't say
aneries.
just Kenyans. You know what I mean?
Well, I like them.
I like-
They're
I
cool,
like
and they're honestly awesome. I kind of want more. I finally got another pair, and I really want to get nuclears like this because Stockwell's from Canada. It'd be really cool just to get some nice bright orange nuclear normal sand boas just to
yeah,
make
that
more
would
of
be
them.
super cool, man.
But even the Dodomas and the paints those are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And seeing Rob's post from Boa Eric's, I definitely want to get him on because
Dude, his
nobody's
stuff.
really done a Sambo episode. So that'd be
I actually,
really
so
neat.
I never listened back to episodes of ours, probably to my detriment. But I re-listened to that one we did with Rob like last week because there was some information on Conicus I was trying to get, and I couldn't remember exactly where we had it, so I just listened to the whole thing back. It's a rarity, but
Yeah, it's
I'm the
definitely
same
hard
way.
to re-listen to your stuff that you've done. I don't think I've ever re-listened to any of the ones I've done on Snakes and Stogies, just because it's like I can't listen to myself.
Yeah.
No,
You guys should definitely do a round table.
yeah, that'd
Should.
be cool.
You know what I mean?
Should
People
even
like,
more.
yeah, people
Sounds-
like it, and just do a dirt snake round table, dirt
Rob will
boa
do it,
round
man.
table.
Rob's always down to talk about that
Yeah.
stuff. Him and I are texting back and forth about Conicus regularly.
Or even like, I know we've gone through similar type of thing, but I would love for you guys to collab. We can, the four of us can collab, or just Smitty and Gillon, however you guys want to do it, but like, and get Rob involved too, because he's obviously the Rob in terms of that type of critter, going through the gauntlet of all the different species, and just
Oh yeah,
break it down. This looks like this, it comes from here, because most people know Kenyan, some people know Indian or rough scale, whatever, and then they know
Little bit
there's
of
one.
Saharan.
Yeah, they know there's one with their eyes
Russian.
on top that looks derpy, and that's it. And nobody
Yeah.
really knows anything besides that. So I think it'd be a great idea.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
anybody really keeping those.
I wish there was, man.
It sounds like there's a handful, and they're in zoos maybe, but they don't have a
Oh.
high survival rate. I think I was listening to Christian Jock's episode because she breeds the Saharans, but they're having issues with the offspring being more productive, as in like they're not as fertile and stuff for some reason.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a
Really?
nutrition thing almost,
Interesting.
or maybe it's a UV thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be interesting to. I definitely want to get her on too because not too many people breed Saharan sand boas, and she
Yeah.
keeps some other cool stuff.
Very
Yeah.
And we're trying to get girls on our show.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It's real good.
Yeah, I was looking through the other week, and I was trying to get Ty on because we already had Scott, but it sounds like we're gonna have Scott and Ty on together, which would be great because freaking having Scott and Ty on is amazing because Ty's like the one that takes care of everything too. So getting her stance on actually like the day to day, the keeping, and then her side of the book writing, and that would be really awesome to hear. So I can't wait to get her on. But then when I tried to get her on, I was like, we haven't had a female keeper on yet. And there's like, I've made kind of a list of people we want to have on. And it's like, well, we got at least 10. So we should start getting them in there because they're all great. They're all great. Like, obviously, Lisa has to come on, Christian, Brooke, Summer, April, like all of them. And there's more, obviously, Heather too.
Yeah.
So like there's tons of great female keepers out there, and there's more that I'd love to have on as well.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Well, Dom, you want to tag in?
Sure. I'll see if I can give you a shorter story, although I don't think Michael said much there. So I pretty much started when I was maybe 15 or 16, loved animals, just saw them everywhere, collected anything I could find, and then would let it go. And when I was about 15, my girlfriend showed me like an ad in a newspaper that just said like looking for people to like volunteer at this little reptile zoo, which was literally like a strip mall with just like one tiny little thing that really was a half pet store, and you could go play with some animals. So I went there, loved it, started working there while really volunteering for a few months, and then volunteering turned into a job, and then they ended up growing and growing over the years. And it turned out to be Little Riz Reptile Zoo, which actually has a couple of things in the States. I worked there for over 10 years, and by the end, it was basically it's now a full accredited CZA, whatever those letters are, zoo. I've done everything from working with crocodilians to venomous to lots of other animals too, like from birds of prey and other things like that. So I've really built up a lot of experience in there, which was really, really fun. Awesome. Goal was always to become a vet. Went to university, hated it, dropped out, kind of changed careers, ended up becoming a paramedic, and went back to school, became an advanced care paramedic. Kind of did that, still doing that 20 years later. Nice. Collections kept growing, mainly started down the Morelia route. Bred a lot in the 90s initially in the weirdest ways that don't make sense to people now. And I always loved joking about how it looked back then to how it looks now. I'd say in all the time I was keeping, collection kept coming back. I lost my entire collection in the middle of it. Really? Long story short, I had a young child who came into my snake room and would play, and then he turned up the dial on the space heater, which is a big oil thing, and came back the next day. The room was like at 110, 115, and lost about 50% of my collection. Then something horrible had gotten into the zoo, which back then we had no idea what it was. Most likely was like nidovirus or something like that, but we didn't know. The vet at that time had prescribed like these ridiculous high dosages of flagell to treat all the animals. I treated all my animals proactively. That killed off another 25% of my snakes. Everything was seizing, freaking doing the little turns. I was giving midazolam to every animal continuously. Lost and then split up with my wife around all the same time at that point. And then I decided I was done. Got out of snakes altogether. Then I'd say about 3 or 4 years, my son kept asking for a snake again because he remembered it back then. So I was like, well, if you're going to get one, I'm going to get you a really, really nice jungle carpet. And got one, and that one exploded into what you're seeing now again. So within about like 5 or 6 years, I started. The only thing that was cool that I'd say if anybody restarts their collection, the fun thing is you go from really shit cages to like really crappy animals. When you get rid of everything and you restart, you're like, I'm not bringing melamine cages. I'm not bringing this. I'm not doing this. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm not using. So, I redid it the way that I always wanted to do it. The same way that I bet you if I lost my entire collection and got rid of everything, if I restarted, I bet you it would look again different and be a lot better again. But yeah, and eventually, got a good amount of animals. I'm mainly into Morelia. I'd say I have every carpet python available out there, and then a lot of other odds and ends. I've got roughies, womas, inlands, diamonds, pygmies, a couple of other little odds and ends. And next endeavor that I'd want is green trees. Each time I've tried lately has not been working.
I was going to say, you've had some turmoil there as of late, right?
Not happy. Anyway, yeah. So that's not working, but everything else is working well. And that's kind of my quick 5-minute story. We'll leave it at that.
That's incredible, man. Absolutely incredible. And seeing the cages behind you, it's fucking stacked, man. I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller than people think, though. It's basically 1 bedroom. That's it.
That's more than enough, man. More than enough.
That like big stacks from top to bottom, 8 feet high. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and that's it. So it's a lot, but it's in a room that's like basically 15 by 10 feet, and that's it. So, which has huge problems, like I can't quarantine. I can't do anything with 2 different temperatures. I can maybe have the lower temperatures on the bottom, higher temperatures. We're talking about 2-3 degrees. Mm-hmm. So basically my wife is like, you know what, you can have your own space, but like people come into the house, it can't smell like snake. It can't look like a weird house. Can't be, it's got to look normal everywhere except when you open that door. Yeah. And you know what? I respect it. I can't keep like 1 cage outside of my room. So this is my little escape. And that's why my podcast is in here. This is my little secluded area. It works. It's my happy space.
Cool, man. Very cool.
How did you go though from the one, when your son wanted a snake and you got him a jungle? Like when you did that, how long was it that you then was like, okay, I kind of missed this. Like let me get back into it a little more. And how did that snowball happen?
Oh man,
after that?
I kept telling him at first I didn't want to buy it for him because I knew it would snowball. He kept pushing and pushing. So I bought a really overpriced, really nice jungle back then, and I'd say within 3 to 6 months, we're like, well, you got a female, we need a male, right? So we got a male, and then I'd say within 2 years, I was probably at about 10 or 15 carpets. It's
That's how it happens, man.
yeah. Well, I knew it would happen. I was in it before. I had, a few, maybe 70, 80 animals before, but the difference is before was like, I don't know how old you guys are, but like in the 90s, you didn't really breed animals. You just kept, and you kept one of everything. You didn't keep pairs. You didn't keep things the goal of, I'd have one scrub python. I had one green tree. I had, I even had colubrids. I had snow bull snakes. I had a savanna monitor. I had one water monitor. I had one African rock python. I had one of everything because there was no, the goal was never the same. So I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with that conversation, but
yeah, I mean, everything was so plentiful and readily available and imported that it was like, oh, I don't need to make more. I can always just buy more or acquire more, horse trade for more. And that's definitely not the case now.
Yeah. It's like keeping for pets, right? Really, that's what it was.
It was.
I look at my collection. If I have something that it's like, well, you're not really doing anything, I really could use your cage for something else. It's tends to be moved out just to kind of further the project always.
Yeah, I was a habitual pet keeper, if you want to call it that. And until I realized, hey, I'm not enjoying these animals as much as I thought I would, or as much as I previously did. I'd rather have projects, but I don't want to be that guy that just gets pairs of snakes to make more. So what I wound up doing is I wound up buying pairs of babies and raising stuff up. So now I still have the pet vibe, but there is an end game to produce in certain species. So I feel like a lot of us that were the big collection pet keepers, I feel like some of us kind of evolved into that and not so much just one of everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And since I got back into it, that jungle has produced the generation 2, which I'm looking in front of me. That generation 2, which is a zebra, has produced a third generation, which are super zebras, and the super zebras are breeding this year. So it's kind of cool getting to that point where you're like, I'm on 4th generation of animals that I have, which to me, that's kind of cool. Like just being at the point where, so yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool that you can keep the lineage correct and the family tree correct, the pedigree correct, because it's your lineage and your family tree. Like, that's awesome. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I hope to get there someday with the Subox and maybe the Kentuckys. That'd be fun.
You're on your way, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
All right, so I got my Subox hat on. I got my Subox shirt on. Like, let's hear about them babies, man. Give us a rundown.
Alrighty. So I want to say they were. So obviously, I got the one pair from Smitty back in 2023. I think the spring.
God, 3 years ago. That's crazy.
Because I think this Baird's I got with that was a 2022, and it was the spring. And then a few months later, I imported another pair of Wild Rose Pass from Rob Nemo. So then I had 4, and then I lost the one male from Nemo in Brumation the year before. Like, right out of Brumation, it kind of wasn't doing great, and then
so you brumated the babies you got from Nemo?
I think it actually passed away the second Brumation, or something. But yeah, no, when you get them from Nemo, they're a good size already.
That's true. Yeah. They're yearlings when you get them from Nemo.
Oh yeah, they're like 2-year-old corn snake size kind of thing. Like they're a good size. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was just weird. It was kind of funky. As soon as it came out of Brumation, you could kind of tell something was a little off, and then it passed away that week out of Brumation. But everything else has been solid and good. That male was also like, it didn't want to it wanted live for the longest time and would barely even eat live. So it was kind of iffy, but the other ones are all great. The female just wants to be drop fed, but she'll eat every time. Well, Smitty's,
Yeah,
they just go right for you.
I've got 2 Wild Rose Pass males from Nemo that both of them, he was like, hey man, just forewarn you, they only take live. And I was like, not a problem, because I would say 80% of my collection I feed live, just most of the venomous stuff. But the one breeder male that I'm going to pair this year, I finally got him to take frozen thawed if I make it dance around like it's alive, to give it a little marionette action, and then he'll go for it. Yes, I gotta sell it to him. But I know exactly what you're talking about, man. And that stinks that he didn't pull through. But you did have some that did get paired. So what was this pairing with these babies?
So that pairing was Smitty's male to the Rob Nemo female. Smitty's female is giving me 1 okay egg that went the whole way out of 2 clutches. So I don't know. I think maybe I just missed her cycling, and maybe I need to get another male just to cycle with her, kind of thing. Yeah. But for some reason, her eggs seem to be a lot smaller as well, and different sizes. While the Nemo female gave me 4 eggs that were that big, like huge eggs.
How big was your female and male?
Trying to think of how I describe it. The male's a good size now because he's 6 years old now or something.
Oh, wow.
Because Chris had it before Justin,
right?
So that pair is fairly old. So that male's probably 4.5 feet. He's a adult corn snake size.
Nice, good
animal now. I should probably stop feeding him too much. The Nemo female though, she's 3.5 this year. So she was 3.5, 4 years old. So she's probably she's about 4 feet and eats an adult mouse once every week or two, kind of thing.
Excellent.
So she's not huge, but yeah, her eggs were ginormous. The babies came out huge.
Good.
And they were double or 3 times the size of a baby corn snake, kind of thing.
Yeah, you sent me the pictures, man. They were thickens.
Oh yeah, and 2 of them have taken frozen already.
Excellent.
One of them's taken live, and the third one hasn't taken yet. But I'm not too worried. They're a pretty good size.
I enjoy that. I mean, it's sad that it was not the biggest clutch, but it was a good success rate. And I feel like I would rather have 3 or 4 or 5 animals that are just big and healthy and good, and I'll just keep them.
Oh yeah, that's the plan.
And now I know I've just got good stock to keep the project going. Because I mean, it would be cool to have babies and sell them, but I'd rather have what you have and be good with that. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally happy with 4. I'll see what the sex ratio is. If it's 3.1 or something, maybe I'll wholesale one off to my buddy or something.
Yeah.
But I'll just play it by ear and probably sex them in the spring, kind of thing. Their tails are pretty thin for being that big, but I guess people sex baby corn snakes all the time, so it shouldn't be the end of the world.
It was shocking to me how easy male subocs pop.
Oh, okay.
It's I'm terrified to pop snakes. I'll probe all day long. I'd rather probe than pop. And I was so nervous, and I'm and it just bam, there they were. And I was like, oh wow, I barely touched it. Okay. So
yeah, I've only just started popping stuff, and the sand boa this is my first year popping sand boas, and I was like, oh okay, actually these are not too easy. And then you can also at that point you're like, I think this one's gonna be a female, and you're like, okay. You can kind of tell by the tail size, but when you pop them, it's actually pretty easy with the sand boas. And then the pines are pretty easy because they're just huge, and the males boom pop.
I never personally kept sand boas, but when I was at Strictly, we would pop them and then put them. The minute we popped them, we'd put them on paper towel by themselves in like a deli cup or whatever for 4 or 5 hours, because they would be so irritated from us manhandling them that they would pop out themselves to correct it and straighten it, kind of you adjust your boxers, and then they get sand stuck on them, and it would cause an infection.
It's the worst.
It happens to me all the time. So we would pop them, throw them on a paper towel, leave them for 4 or 5 hours, and then before we left for the day, throw them all back in their respective tubs.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever I personally popped a sand boa. I imagine it'd be fairly easy, right?
Yeah, no,
I haven't
it was
with any of
pretty
mine.
easy.
I've got a
But you
couple
have
that I think are females, but I haven't been sure. And I know as soon as I go to pop them, they're going to start biting the shit out of me. So
Oh,
Yeah, actually those subocs are almost are like as defensive as like Kentucky's. Like all
really?
four of them, you go in there and they do the whole like almost like a boega where
Really?
they box right up at you, and
That's cool, man.
they just won't stop. Although it's like kind of annoying. It's like you go to feed them the pinky and they bite the pink, but then they're more worried about you, so they like drop it. They don't actually like eat it right after they strike it. You think they would just hold on, but no.
Yeah.
But it's
Just
kind of
like-
neat. Hopefully they chill out.
Just by curiosity, in the colubrid world, when are you guys popping them? Are you guys popping them as soon as they're out of the eggs, or is that something you wait longer? You do a couple of weeks later? Because like in the python world, it's really accepted to just they're out. You take them out of the incubator, you pop them right away and do it right away. They've got basically no muscle tone, and it's just a joke, right? It feels like they're just right out there. So just wondering if that's when you're doing it as well.
I used to try it out of the egg, but I struggled. I mean, we're talking like rhino rats and corn snakes and bears and stuff like that. And I don't know. I always kind of had a hard time, but if I waited until after their first shed for whatever reason, I found it to be a little easier. I don't know why, but
Yeah, I think after the first shed, Chris said right away, but I think after the first shed was easier. But for the most part, if you do it with them, I guess before they get like a big size, they're within the first year. Honestly, you could probably pop them no matter what.
Yeah, I was always terrified to do colubrids out of the egg, just because. Same thing with boas too. I feel like boas, what you said about like Morelli and pythons is that they have no muscle tone. It's easy, it just goes pop real quick. Everything is still kind of cartilagey, kind of bendy. It's not that big a deal. You know, you're not going to really break anything. I never felt that way with baby boas or baby colubrids, and there was all these different tricks, but I was just afraid, man. I was afraid I was going to break their spine. I was afraid because they're so tiny. It's like a cocktail straw opposed to a baby carpet, which you can hold on to them. You know, you got something to work with there. So like whenever there was baby corns or baby pueblans or baby Florida kings, like I just left it. I left it for 3, 4, 5 feedings, make sure they're good, make sure they're pooping. And then when I know that they're not going to snap like a Kit Kat bar, then or a wafer cookie, then I'll kind of approach that. One thing we used to do is we used to what we call speed bump boas, where you know what I'm talking about, where you very gently just roll your thumb along the tail, kind of like you're very, very, very gently squeezing a tube of toothpaste out, and you'll feel the hemipene like a speed bump, like it's just a real quick speed bump, but I watched someone completely deglove a baby once, and I was like, it traumatized. So that I will not do that anymore. I think it'd probably be okay on something juvenile if you're really light, if you're really gingerly with your thumb. But I'd rather just pop it or probe it. And have a real probe, not a paper clip. You know.
Yeah, my buddy was saying that you could speed bump. He says he normally speed bumps the normal BIs and the actual boas along with the Epicrates, the rainbows and stuff are pretty. You can speed bump those, but he says sand boas are too small. But
I think it's gotta have a considerable tail of sort, right?
Yeah,
it's gotta have something there. So like any BCI, BCC, rainbows, anacondas, and honestly, I've done it on Amazons, but I don't know if I was right. You know, because the tail is just so damn long.
Yeah,
but
seems like people hold off on Amazons.
Yeah, exactly.
When you say speed bump, are you going from cloaca to the end of the tail or tail to the cloaca?
Yeah. I'm going from in front of the cloaca back. You'll like it's almost right after going from belly to tail tip. It's almost right after the vent, and it's almost like your finger rolled over a pea.
Yeah.
Or like an ingrown hair, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely never use that trick.
Yeah, and it works like $1 million on red tail boas and like Gillon said, Epicrates, Eunectus, if you can get them to sit still long enough. Usually with like Eunectus, I'd have someone hold the first half of the snake, like hold them by the head because they're just gonna twist, and then you can speed bump them pretty easily, especially yellows. But I just felt weird, man, especially watching that happen. I felt so bad. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah. He was
Absolutely
probably
horrible.
death gripping the thing a little bit. But Rosies, apparently you can actually see their spurs. My friend said that
Oh, really?
when they're born, you could probably just use a magnifying glass and look for spurs if you really didn't want to do anything. But I'm sure they're fairly easy to pop as well.
I wish they were all as easy as hog noses.
Yeah, although I've seen some in between hognose, some shorter tailed males kind of thing. It's
yeah. It's like Bitis, man. 99% of the time, you just look at them and you can tell which one's which. But yeah, I think you did great with those subocs, man. Those things look great. The patterns are great. The colors are great. I can't wait for them to color up.
Oh, they already, to me, they already look awesome. They look as normal as they could be, which is like, I think, honestly, I don't think there's too many people with normal subocs in Canada. Everybody has, like, you see blondes and silvers and that bouncing around, but you don't see any normals. So,
yeah. So I have never been a blonde guy ever, but I think this year I might look into it because I don't have it, and I feel like
Western cherries.
I know, right? I know. And then
actually,
like
Nemo has those, I think.
Does he really? So I got from Dave Powell. He was kind enough to give me a baby River Road albino, which is obviously it is albino, so it's got the genes, but it's also het for silver, and I think it's that alpine silver that I love oh so much. But I don't know what to pair that to. And I'm sure there's a high probability it's got blonde in there as well. So just because it is the designer mutt, you know, not saying that
to a corn snake.
Not saying that Nemo's animals are bad in any way, or Dave Powell's animals are bad in any way, but high probability there's probably some blonde in there. So I have this one female I've been raising up. What do I do? Do I put a silver male to it when the time comes? Do I buy a blonde male? Do I buy an albino male? Oh, blasphemy.
What female is it? It's a female silver?
It's a River Road albino female.
Yeah. I wasn't sure.
From Dave Powell.
Okay.
Yeah. Dave Powell, sweet angel Dave Powell.
Yeah.
No, Dave.
Yeah, no, I will never say anything ill about that man ever. He is a fucking godsend. Sorry, continue.
Oh, did you guys see the striped subocs that hatched out in the UK? Those look cool.
Yeah, man. Fucking killer.
Because I think in Dusty's book, he talked about how the blonde is like the opposite. So if you like bred them back to each other, eventually you can get the stripes. And even I think somebody did make patternless. I swear there's been a patternless suboc.
Dusty mentioned it on I think on Pingle's episode, because that's an episode. Like I don't listen to a lot of Pingle, but that episode with him and Dusty, I listened to that one at least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he said that he's personally gotten patternless. Okay. But like it looks like a normal tan snake, just no pattern.
Yeah. Looks kind of like a
Cynicolis.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, very cynical. Or
Baja.
What's Baja, yeah. I'm trying to find, so there's a picture that I can't remember if it's in Dusty's book or not. But it's from, I want to say, west of the Wacos, I want to say, but nobody knows if it's a silver or if it's actual exanthic. Now that I said that on air, I'm not gonna be able to find the freaking photo because that's just how it always goes. Oh man, here it is. But like, this is what I want to produce, and I don't know if I ever will be able to, simply because this is a locality phenotype. But look at this animal.
Oh yeah, it's nice. I mean,
it's
normal
like, it's
silver,
just black and white, man. Beautiful. But like, I love the nape stripes are perfectly unbroken, and they just fade into the H's.
I miss those goofy bastards.
Oh God, I love them.
Yeah, they're neat. Maybe next year I'll make some more and I can send some down to you guys.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I definitely I need to go back to West Texas. Trans-Pecos calls to me more often than anywhere else. And but I think I want to try and hit up that west of the Wacos area and see if we can try and track that fucker down.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I need to still do a West Texas trip. I need to do that just sometime. I just need to do it. And Daytona.
Yeah.
Well, Daytona's the same weekend as my buddy's shows. So Greg and Tyrone do the Western Canadian Reptile Expo the same weekend every year. So it's tough because like I can just hang out with them the whole weekend kind of thing, and it's like they're like my friend group, and then it's also would be awesome to hang out with you guys too and go meet Craig and all those guys and Rob. It'd be really cool to
all your internet friends.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dom, do you have any larger shows on your side?
So the one that Michael came on to there, the Canadian Reptile Breeders Expo, which is the biggest show in Canada. But I mean, it's hard to know what to compare it to because honestly, it's the only show I've ever gone to. So I've gone a couple of like tiny shows in Ottawa, but they're a joke. There's like 30 vendors. I've done a Montreal show, which is the other big city in our area, and maybe 40 things. But the Toronto show has a monthly show, which is, in my opinion, way too often.
Yeah.
And, like I only go once a year for the big show, and it's called the Canadian Reptile Breeders Show, which is the one that's probably, what do you think, Michael? Like 150 vendors, maybe, give or take.
Honestly, it's hard to tell because like the reptile portion of it, because it's a pet, because it's been expanded into a pet expo. So there's a reptile, fish, small animal, and dog.
You ignore that whole section. You just stay in the reptile section.
But just seeing that is almost like Ty show and even our show is like not much. Well, Ty and Greg's show is probably almost the same size building area, and then our show is a bit smaller, but we still have 80 vendors. So it's the biggest in Canada, but I don't think it would match up to Tinley or.
You don't think so? No.
Although I've never been to Tinley.
I've never been to Tinley, but I can say that when we talk about shows, I always like to say, how many high school basketball gymnasiums is it? Is it 2 high school basketball gymnasiums? Is it 4 high school basketball gymnasiums?
What do you think?
Is it half of one?
No, it's a lot more than that. To me, it's between 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
That's a good size show, man.
Like it's big.
Yeah,
and that's the reptile section. You'd have like maybe 2 stadiums for the aquarium section. You'd have, I don't know,
8
10
for the dog section.
8 for the dog, cat.
We didn't even go over there.
And the little animals.
That's
like
great.
We don't even go there. It's gigantic. But again, like you're either. Like I went to go see the birds because I thought it was cool, but I mean, I stayed there for 15 minutes maybe. The aquarium I walked through in 5 minutes was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I just went past and like, so it's big enough that it makes it worthwhile, and it's still a 5-hour drive from me. I mean, not as far as Michael taking the airplane from freaking across,
taking the red eye, stopping in Calgary and then going to Toronto and being like getting to Toronto at 7 a.m. and you're like. I did not sleep at all on that plane. It is too small.
How long was the layover in Calgary?
It wasn't that long. Like I left Abbotsford to Calgary. I was there by like 11, and I think I flew out at like 1:30 in the morning Calgary time, so it wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
but yeah, no.
But what sucks is you're going back in time, so you're losing time.
Oh yeah. I got there when it was 4 in the morning, my normal time.
Yeah.
And then it was
time to get up.
Oh yeah. It was like show setup. I was there because my buddy Nelson, who also does reptile importing and has the other shipping company there, he picked me up from the airport and I hang out with him till the boys flew in from Alberta at like noon. So I was there helping set up and stuff, and started drinking by like 1 in the afternoon. And then by like 3 you're like, it feels like 8 o'clock at night right now. And it's 3 in the afternoon and noon my time. This isn't good.
Hey man, they say if you're gonna drink all day, you gotta start in the morning.
Yeah.
So and Dom, you're in Ontario?
Yeah, Ontario. I'm in Ottawa. Basically,
okay.
I'm right on New York. You know where Ogdensburg is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm literally an hour north of Ogdensburg. So then, maybe a 5-hour drive to New York City. So we're really not that far. We're not living in igloos in the middle of nowhere here.
No, fair enough. I was gonna say, are you a Senators fan or are you a Leafs fan?
Oh, man, none of them.
None of them, because you're
actually.
like you're in that disputed zone, you know.
I agree, and I should be a Senators fan, but I'm French and I am an Eldzic fan.
Oh,
The
nice.
Nordiques, and
Nice.
they haven't lost a game in over 20 years. They
That's
haven't
good,
really
man.
existed in 20 years, but they still haven't lost. And the day they got taken over, the Colorado Avalanche, they won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was basically the Nordiques that won, but still.
Hey, fair
So,
enough.
Colorado.
Do you have a Nordique sweater?
I've got a hat and I've got a
That
hoodie.
counts.
Does that
That
count?
counts.
Yeah, all right.
Counts, man. That's cool, man. That's
So-
cool. I got a Winnipeg Jets from the first time. I got a sweater of theirs floating around somewhere, but that's cool,
mean,
man.
Always go for any Canadian team. We just hope to one day kick some team. Like, it's always some American team that you're like, nobody cares a shit about hockey over there. What is that? Like, who cares if they win the Stanley Cup? Like, nobody cares.
No. People
In the
care.
South, absolutely, you're right. Because I moved down here being into hockey and stuff, and like living in and out of the South for most of my life. Like hockey, it's football and it's college football, like entirely.
Yeah,
You
dude.
bring
Or
up
high
hockey
school
and people
football.
are like, what? Who watches hockey? And I'm like, what are you
But
talking
I will say this: in my neck of the woods, there's enough northeastern transplants that hockey is very much alive, and I feel like the younger generation. Like I work with a couple guys that are like, I work with a 19-year-old, I work with a 24-year-old, like they're huge hockey buffs, which keeps the spark alive in my old ass. So like, I'm enjoying it, man. I am. So
Yeah, I think Canadians also go down, or used to go down for vacation. Like I'm sure out east there's cheap flights to Florida, and out here there's cheap flights to Vegas and LA kind of thing, right? So
the amount
you're used to.
that I was to say the amount of Quebec plates that I used to see daily has diminished considerably.
Nobody wants
honestly,
to go, man.
It's too expensive.
It's not about money, man. Americans pissed us off. They pissed off everybody. It is a gigantic ban on going to the States.
Really?
Everybody, the stupidities that, and I don't want to make this political, but the stupidities that Trump has said simply pissed off Canadians to the point that they just don't want to go there. They just don't want to bring their money there. And if you look at the amount of tourism going on from Canada, it has gone down to like a ridiculous. Like everybody I know, well, we're not going to go to Florida. We're not going to go to Disney. We're not going to go. Let's go to Mexico. Let's go to Cuba. Let's go to Europe. Everybody's just detouring somewhere else.
Wow.
I bet you as soon as Trump's gone, it'll change again. But he's just pissed off a lot of people.
I can imagine, man. I can imagine.
Canadians anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say that since COVID, there's been less and less. At least I've noticed less and less Quebec and Ontario plates, and I didn't know if it was because of that, or if it was economy, or if it was they're staying here and getting cars. Because like I have a couple Toronto friends that they just got cars down here and registered them as Florida residents because Canadians are the only people that don't need a green card, and this is what they do. And I was wondering maybe that's why I'm not seeing so many plates. So interesting, very interesting.
probably a bit of everything. Like economy is definitely down a little bit everywhere. So
Oh yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know my grandparents used to drive down to California for 3 months every year in the winter. Not that it gets that cold here, but they got to go with their friends golfing around Palm Springs and that, and then drive back up in
That's cool, man.
February or March.
That's real cool. So Dom, how is your season looking for all of your Morelia?
Like season coming up or season that just is
Both.
finishing?
Like I know right now is traditionally when most of the Morelia guys start getting everything ready, pre-Thanksgiving prep and all that, whether it be feeding or separating or whatever. I didn't know if you follow the same template as they say, or if because you're so much farther north, it's a little different.
I'd say it's somewhat similar. Everybody's year starts to go a little bit later than everyone. I get the cold before everybody, so I'd say still to the same kind of regimen. Last year's breeding season went really well. I think I got a normal average year, which is about 90 to 100 offsprings, which is really close to my max, and I don't want more than that.
Cool.
Did really well. I think I've got 9 babies left for sale. So
Excellent.
Overall, I'd say good.
And that's a hell of a haul, man, of babies.
Yeah, but we like I don't know how to say this without sounding like an ass, but I hate people. I hate selling to
Oh,
people.
no,
I
we're
hate
with you.
dealing with people. So I wholesale almost everything. So it's always about finding people that'll buy 30, 40, 50 animals at a time.
Yeah.
And me and Shan, that's been on our show a couple of times, we've kind of just pool our animals together, and we ship large amounts at a time. So things tend to move in big lots. So yeah, so I'd say I'm down to just a few left, so I'm happy. It means I'm ready for next year. It means I've got no restrictions what to breed. Right now, it's all about beefing up the women. So just feeding them until you like how I say that, eh? So I'd say, usually Halloween's my last feeding. So I'll look at the last few girls that I'm like, maybe she'll go. I'll try to give her 1 or 2 more feeds. So I'll probably feed someday now and feed in 2 weeks near the end of October. Then I'll stop everything. So for me, I stop feeding every single thing in my room except the babies from this year. So if it's 6 months old or less, they will stay on a rack that'll stay warm. Everything else from last year's babies to anything else just stops eating for 6 months. So which I love. The cleaning is so simple. Like after the 1 month of emptying everybody out, nothing eats. Everything starts getting cooler temps for the night times, and kind of goes from there. Yeah. So I'd say it's good. I've got a decent number of pairs I want to put together. I probably have about 14 or 15 pairs. I don't think I'll do that many because I tend to, hit about 75 to 80% of whatever I put together. So I'm thinking of hitting around 10 to 12 pairs. I'll really have to decide what I do. But I don't want to hit above 90 babies. It gets overwhelming. It's not fun. Like, honestly, it isn't. Man. So, yeah.
I've had to learn that lesson a few times.
Yeah. What's your largest number you've bred in 1 year?
Man. Me personally, nothing. But I used to work with a guy who had 23 adult female albino monocle cobras, and every single one would do a clutch of, say, 10 to 15 eggs. And every year it was just pumping out albino monocle cobras. So like that was horrible. But me, I don't know, maybe 2 clutches, if that. I haven't bred anything in almost 10 years, honestly, on purpose, I should say. But Smitty?
Probably the year before last, and it was when I went wild with corns. And that was probably, I'm going to say, like, it wasn't all corns. It was probably some rhinos too, but it was like, I think 6 or 7 clutches. And that was like, that's great and all until you then realize, like, this is a lot of mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Like on paper, you're like, yeah, this is cool. Like, it's awesome. Like, rhinos, it's no big deal because I got the feeder fish and stuff now. But like corns and whatnot, it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
There's a lot of heads.
Yeah.
To me, it's the time to clean those tubs, right? Like I had 1 year, my largest year was about 140 babies, and I wanted to kill myself. Like, it sucked. Like when you're looking at 140 little tubs, you're counting about even a minute and a half if everything is perfect. By the time you do all that, you're 4.5, 5 hours in.
Yep.
And then 3 days later, you have to feed them, then they all shit. You got to clean them, change the water bowl. You're literally never stopping. And then when are you supposed to clean the other animals, right?
Right.
So to me, it's, I don't know, to me, it needs to be like a full-time job. Like, that's why my limit now is 80. I like to keep 80 and under. And even when I have 80, I'm somewhat overwhelmed, but I know it's going to be coming down. So.
And the food bill alone, man, it's got to be wild, you know?
Yeah, I've got a good setup for that. I don't pay for my food.
Oh, good.
So
good.
I got a buddy, like, Shan breeds everything. So he's got thousands and thousands of mice, rats, and ASF. And basically he gets anything he wants, I produce, he has every year.
Oh, nice.
So I give him a few snakes every year. I get free food for the entire year. So I can't complain. It's
worth it, man.
It's a great deal. Yeah, no, it's a perfect deal.
Very hard to beat.
One day he'll stop.
Just got another breeder group of mice over the weekend, actually, because I got some of those sand boas that are holding out, and I think they want live. I think that's part of the problem. So,
yeah,
got 1.3 mice now in the garage. Sitting here looking at them. I was feeding them some mealworms last night.
At least they're at your house. You don't got to go anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's
You
kind
know?
of the thing. I was like, I've got those 2 Reptile Basics rat breeder tubs. I'll get a group going. Maybe I'll get a second group at some point, and just have them at home. I mostly just need pinkies and fuzzies, so everything else I'm not too worried about. But
Yeah.
So Justin, you fully stopped doing the mouse shed at your dad's place kind of thing.
yeah. I wasn't rotating and like holding back litters like I should have. So eventually a lot of my adults got old. And then I had a couple times where I had issues with the water lines getting pulled because of, raccoons or possums or something. It was a handful of things that it got to the point where I was like, okay, like once they're all gone, I'm done, and just getting harder and harder to keep up with too, just with Fulvius and everything else too.
Oh, for sure.
A lot going on. So
yeah, doing the podcast thing now, you realize you're like, oh yeah, I have time for this. And then you're like, then you start working 12-hour days, and then you're like, okay, I have to take care of my animals. Okay, this is a lot of extra time. Because at one point I also tried to keep at least like a tank of mice in the garage kind of thing, just to have live, and then extras I could feed off kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it never really times up right, and then in the winter they kind of stop breeding when it gets a little once it starts getting to freezing outside. Like the garage always stays at like 50 degrees because that's where I brewmate everything. So it's not too bad because it doesn't get too cold here. But still, the mouse breeding goes down.
Yeah, I think when it starts cooling off here, seriously, I'm gonna put like an ultratherm pad under this tub, or I'll put a low watt heat bulb or something on there just to give them some heat still. But
yeah,
we're not there yet. But
yeah, I'm very spoiled with. I got underground that's now 15 minutes from the house with bad traffic, and they get live rodents every Wednesday, and I'm off every Wednesday, so I just go and grab 30, 40 live fuzzies, whatever I need, and go from there. And I keep a small supplement of frozen in the garage and go from there. So
yeah, there's no one local to me here on the coast that is doing any breeding of rodents.
Wow.
So
yeah, the one local.
I was the guy for a while and made the mistake of posting about it, saying, "Hey, I've got live rats," and then everyone that has a ball python that only eats medium live rats was messaging me, and I'm like,
only black and white ones.
Yeah, I was like, y'all.
Only males.
I didn't realize this many people needed these. I was like, I changed my mind.
He only eats brown ones, but not the normal chocolate brown, the caramel colored brown, and the brown can only be on the left side of the rat's body. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's one thing I never understood. Like, I don't know. I'm not a ball python fan at all either, but it was the first snakes that I kept when,
sure,
that's all there was.
Yeah.
And why is it that everybody feeds live to their ball python? Like, I've had ball pythons in the 90s. They were wild caught, and guess what? They were all on frozen thaw. Every ball python I've ever owned, I've had it on frozen thaw. So is it laziness? Is it just the lack of wanting to go through with it and switch it to frozen thawed? Because pretty much almost every single snake species can be switched to frozen thawed, including ball pythons. I just don't get it.
Every person I asked that was looking for live, I was like, have you tried frozen? Like, yeah, I won't take it.
Yeah, and I feel like the reason why is because they're thawing the rat out, and then they throw in a cold, wet rat in the tank, and the snake's like, what the hell do you want me to do with that thing? Like, nobody dries it off. Nobody feeds it warm or hot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Nobody gives a little marionette action to let them know, hey, this floppy white thing I can actually eat.
And they try to feed it every week.
And they try to feed it every week. And they bop it in the face because they're like, eat, come on. And all it does is ball up in a ball. But I digress.
Yeah, I remember working at a pet store.
Sorry, go ahead.
I remember working at a pet store, and everybody comes in every week. I need a large rat for my ball python every single week. And you're like,
Cool.
Yeah. It's not eating. It's not eating.
A year and a half old, and it's 5 feet.
Yeah. What were we going to say, Dom?
I'm not quite sure. But I'll go on with your rant. Like, to me, something doesn't feed cool. You're not eating. You're going to go the entire winter and not eat. I bet you anything in 6 months when I try to feed you, though, you're going to eat.
Yeah.
Like, any
man.
picky feeder, anything that doesn't eat properly, it always eats by the time that it hasn't eaten all winter. So
Yeah.
I don't know, with ball pythons, I just don't get it. I don't understand how one species could be all live only when it was all wild caught. They all ate frozen thawed, no problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just non-logical. But again, I'm not in that world, and I'm sure everybody that's into ball pythons listening right now are like, you fucking idiot. You don't know how it is.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff Frederick's in the chat. And by the way, Jeff, thank you for describing what sabak meant earlier. We were talking about the Transpecos rat snake, Bogertophus subocularis. He says, bogies. He says, live is a better success rate with ball pythons. And when you're in a race to breed them, ... Yes, Jeff, I would concur. Everyone's
Yeah.
got
Did you ever run into the issue with carpets though, Dom, with like mousers?
So yes, just like and they do, but every single one of them can be converted. The problem is a lot of people don't like to wait for their animals to get bigger. So most people tend to only start cycling their animals and stopping to feed them in winter by year 3, maybe 3.5, but by year 3 they're already 5 or 6 feet. When instead, if you simply stop feeding them, you give them a normal cycle, they will grow not as fast. They're going to live way longer because you're not feeding them. Their body's actually their digestive system's shrinking. It's staying there for a couple of weeks without ever changing. Your animal's lifespan will increase, but it will not. Once paper fell right in front of the pen. So every single time I have trouble feeders, if I stop feeding them, when I come back, they all ate. I've never, like, in my entire collection, I don't have one mouse feeder.
Now, I've been guilty of this because I don't cool things that, because of my current climate. I'm in South Florida. Because of the current climate and the way that the room is set up, unless I'm specifically cooling something or cycle feeding it, I feed stuff through winter. Like, I just do. I don't feed every week necessarily, but I do definitely feed stuff through winter. So I've had Morelia that I consistently fed them all winter, but I fed them mice because that's what they were, size wise, they were eating. Everything's fine. And then finally I was like, oh, here's a rat pup. And they were like, what the hell you want me to do with that? So I didn't feed them for a month or so, right? So they're not going to lose any body weight. And then when I got my live rodents, I would put in a live rat pup with a live mouse, let them touch each other, rub on each other, whatever in the box. And then I go to give him the rat pup. And of course he's going to eat it. And I never understood why, whether you're doing it with live or frozen thawed, why wouldn't people just at least try that in terms of converting, you know?
And that works great. Like,
yeah,
most of the babies I start with actually ASF purely because I have a lot more success with babies on ASF because it triggers them a lot better. Almost all of them start with ASF. I tend to go from ASF to mice and mice to rat pinky, but they all go to rat pinkies eventually.
Yeah, dude, everything loves a rat pink.
So I don't know. I think it can be done. The question is, do you want to put the time into it?
Yeah.
And for some people, it's just not worth it. Like, it's just, but I don't know. When you have animals that go big enough to a point where you need to get them bigger, I think it's worth the time because, like, feeding a 6 or 7 foot snake, mice, you're going to be going through a shit ton.
I totally understand that. Yeah, totally understand that.
Chicks exist.
Chicks,
you know what, man? I've got birds to supplement diets. I do. I've also got birds specifically for scenting things, right? But having kept like Cynodon and things that are almost exclusively bird eaters and other boiga and stuff, like, I mean this with the most respect. Fuck that, man. Like, just liquid poo everywhere. And then they only eat 2 of the 3 that I left in there. And now I got like this wet, sloppy, dead chick that I forgot was in there because it's buried under the bullshit jungle that I fabricated for these things. So, yeah, I love the idea of supplement, like give dry mark on some birds from time to time, give my water pythons birds from time to time. But I don't know, man, I could not be one of those guys that's exclusively an avian feeder. Ugh.
Yeah, I swap quail and like appropriately sized quail, so I'll feed like 2 medium quail instead of a medium rat kind of thing.
Yeah.
To my pines or my Bahama boas and that, because they're They're kind of, and actually, well, my Wama python now only wants to eat bird.
Oh.
He's like, no, I'm not touching a rat, so I have to get some bird to.
How big's the woman now?
He's only like 4.5, 5 feet, but he was like, I think he was kind of stunted because I got him when he was like almost dead because he was like super anorexic. So now he's like 18, and I've had him for like 4 years.
Does he eat frozen thawed?
He'll eat frozen thawed bird, but he won't eat any.
So
when I got him, he would eat everything, and now he'll.
What I would do, and again, forgive me if I'm preaching to the choir, but I would thaw out a quail with like 4 or 5 rats in the same bowl, just so it gets like that rat juice or whatever, and then I would clip the wing off of the quail and stuff it in the rat's mouth, and then feed it face first. And
yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So like he's smelling that quail wing right there, and he just goes for it. And I would just do that a bunch, and then eventually just no wing.
Yeah, that might be an idea.
The things I do is you get a lot of chicks, and then you start shaving all your chicks. And I know it sounds like a lot of fun, but trust me, it works. And I have literally a Ziploc filled with like it looks like a little teddy bear of chick down. And
you're keeping the down.
I'm keeping the whole down,
okay.
but then and keep it in the freezer because I think if you keep it in warm heat, you could have salmonella build up in there.
Yeah.
But basically, when you want to switch a treble feeder, you just take your rat that's been warmed up in water. I don't wash it. I don't do anything. Just unthaw it nice and warm. Literally dip it in the down, and now and now it looks all hairy. You feed it, usually gets them going. And for Woma, the other thing that I find cool with them is I tend to feed him a lot of my dead in the egg or like a little baby that's kinked or didn't really make it. The Womas will eat them. It's I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool seeing a snake eat a snake. Your Woma will eat your little babies that don't make it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're willing to do it, but
yeah, I just don't have too many babies in general to feed off, so I haven't had to do that yet.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I should have to do every year. So.
Yeah. I mean, if you have your numbers, you're bound to have it, bound to happen.
Yeah.
But so Dom, are you doing any MI or just purely incubator?
I've always told myself I would. I have literally never ever done MI. And it's purely because every year I'm like, I'm going to find that clutch that I don't care that much about, and I'm going to do it. But as a general rule, I kind of like every clutch that I breed. So I have not been willing to do it yet, but I will one day. But it's tough to kind of like, if you look at what your percentage is in an incubator, like 95% hatch rate easily, if not better. So could I do better in MI? I don't think so. So then why am I doing it? Because to me, there's only disadvantages. Your female doesn't bounce back as fast. Your female's on eggs for an extra 2 months. And often that female isn't ready the next year, can't even be considered. So to me, they're just deterrents.
Yeah.
So I have not done it. I should. You'd think I would have done it by now, but
I'm gonna try it at least once, just to experience it.
He needs to try it with his roughies.
Yeah.
He
has 2 female roughies for next year.
Oh, they're big. They're big, and I don't even know why, and I can't even explain it. Everything is being kept separately, but my roughies are cohabbed, and there's no logical explanation for it. I just happened to have cages that were all intertwined, and I just left the ports open, and they do great. Like I can't really. Actually, you know what? Let me flip it around. Let's see if you guys can see. Is that showing the roughy cages on top?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't know how good my angle is because I
That's
can't.
cool.
I think I see one of them.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, I gotta get my hands on some of those one day.
Anyway, so I've got a trio, and they're huge. They're all from Don Patterson. They're 2021s. So this year's the first time. So my goal is I keep them communally for no real reason. Then.
Oh no, he unplugged himself.
He touched.
He touched it.
He touched it.
He picked it up in broad daylight and he scratched it.
Yeah, I think to this point, Don's the only one that's been breeding roughies up here.
Yeah, that's another one that I struggle to sort of wrap my head around, like what you guys have available up there and like stuff that I
It's
feel
pretty
like
much
it's
the same.
probably pretty easy to find here. Is probably a little more difficult up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Well, that's the thing is now because there's one guy breeding Ruffies for all of Canada. You can get them for a good price depending on what you're looking for. Even though they're all from Don, so if you know him,
mhm.
he can kind of hook you up. But that's the thing is they're all from one source too.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yep. You're
Oh.
all good.
Sorry, I moved my computer and I totally pulled the cord off, and it kind of shut me off for a second.
It happens to the best of us.
Sorry, I don't know if I'm cutting you guys off now, but I was just saying that my goal is to just separate them. Like probably in about a month, I'm going to separate them and then put them back at the end of the cooling season and retry them. I'd love to have eggs. It's definitely a species I've been trying for a while to acquire, and now I've been growing up these babies that are finally adults now. So that'd be pretty cool to produce because I think in Canada there's Don. Is there anybody else that's producing except Don?
No, well, Len had his pair, but I don't know where the hell
He
those
never
animals
ever
are.
produced.
No,
He got slugs 1 year. That's it. I don't think anybody else has ever produced them in Canada. So,
No.
if you look in the States, there's maybe like a handful of people that produce them every year. Not that many, right?
I think it varies year to year. Like I think
Yeah.
it seemed like the other year there wasn't really any, and then the year Owen bred them there was more maybe. But then,
I feel like a lot of people in the States will take a year off.
Yeah.
Just for insurance, just in case.
And their price tag is still pretty high. Like they're,
Oh yeah.
but I
It's
assume
not
they're going to.
undoable, but
It's a project I'm looking forward to. They're really cool. They're the coolest Morelia in here, right? And they're a brown dirt snake. But I think they're really cool. They're extremely active. They're much more arboreal than people think. Like they're never on the ground. They're always in the air. So
Rock
you give them
chondros, man.
heights. Yeah, it's basically that. So I've been enjoying them. They're definitely a species I didn't think I would like that much. And they're good. They've been growing on me for a couple of years.
super cool, man. Super cool.
I'll have to get some. I'll have to get some. There will be my first Morelia then if I do pull the trigger on them, which I probably will have to next year.
Aren't you right beside Don? Don Patterson?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just go get some?
I could, but then I don't know. I always go through like waves of like, well, I should stay in my lane, and then like this past 2 months, I decided to get a bunch of projects that I didn't necessarily need, but I was like, I've kind of always wanted these, and Buddy had this for sale, and I was able to trade this for this, and I was like, I've kind of always wanted. So I got Angolans, and I got rings, and then I got
Hell yeah.
oh hell yeah!
another pair of sandboas. I was like,
I do like
Yeah.
Angolans. I was talking to
Yeah,
Casey like the week before last because he still has some for sale, and I'm like, man, if I could ever get my hands on some, like somehow stumbled into the amount of money I would need to get a pair, I'd probably give them a shot.
How much are
Well,
they in the States?
Casey's are the same ones that I have.
Nice.
They're from Dawn, I'm assuming.
They are.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
they're
they're
like-
probably they could be clutch mates probably.
I've seen them for like 800 lately.
Yeah.
An animal.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Okay, yeah. That's if they're
As bad
about
as
a
it used to be a
K.
couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think some guys. It seems like there's a bunch of people breeding them up here. Like there's 4, 5, 6 guys maybe breeding them, but they're still trying to get $1,000 a piece for them, kind of thing. But then I've also seen people try to sell pairs for $1,200. So it depends who you kind of talk to.
Yeah.
Right? Depends who needs to move them quicker, kind of thing. Either way, they're cool. Like they're a cool animal, even if they were $400 or $300. Like they're still a cool snake, and they're way better
Their
than a ball
skin is
python.
cool. Yeah, like the rough scale is really nice on them. I really like that. But they're not arboreal at all. Like if you give them perch, they'll climb on it for a little bit, but they've got no prehensile tail. They're much more of a slug than an actual like muscular animal that holds on, right? So for me, it didn't really hit any of those things that I loved. That being said, they're cool. I kept them for many years. I bred them I think I got 3 clutches in total, then sent them to Shan. He got another 2 clutches from our trio. And we moved him to Michael's buddy there, to Tyrone. And he's got our trio now. So I assume he'll get some clutches. In my experience, they tend to go every second year. So we've never had a female go 2 years in a row. And we've tried. So she's bulked up. She would never go the second year. Year back to back, but they would go 2 years. So we always had one female that would go, the other one wouldn't. Then the next year it'd be the opposite. So, but they're cool. They lay very small clutches, gigantic eggs, like insanely big eggs. It's ridiculous. Like they're not quite the size of a reticulated python egg, but it's a really big egg considering their size. And it's not a lot of eggs usually.
Nice.
So,
what temps were you keeping them at?
Same thing as basically carpet python. So the typical temps. So like 88 hots in the hot spot, and then 77, 79 ambient everywhere else. And then at night, bring it down 2 to 4 degrees every night. So, and then I would fully cool them down just like a winter breeder. So they would go through the entire thing. They would stop feeding in October, start cooling it down in November, go down all the way to about 64, slowly, only night times, daytime stays, and then bring them back up slowly and then start pairing. I've bred almost every python in this room that exact same way, and it's worked for pygmies, spotteds, for Angolans, for like it seems that almost majority of the python species could kind of breed the same way. I think where we differ would be more like the any equatorial species. At that point, you're more talking about big feeding changes than instead of temperature changes.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I just bred them the same way and had zero issues. The only thing is you need to be patient. They take like 6-7 years to mature.
Really?
Before that, it doesn't matter if it looks big, it's not going to breed. They take a long time to get there.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
Yeah, I've also heard they're sort of sensitive to overfeeding.
They are. They vomit. They'll puke as soon as you give them something too big. Like even on a big female, I was still feeding them no more than a medium rat. If I fed them more, they would puke. And even if it pukes, then just the next week give them something smaller. They'll eat and they're perfectly fine. So it's not like a real problem. It's just that if you give them something too big, they'll let you know.
Yeah, I guess the 1.5-year-old ones I have, I'm just feeding them adult mice every. Like I'll feed them a couple weeks in a row because they're still kind of juveniles, but then I'll give them a week off kind of thing. I'll give them like 1-2 meals in a row and then give them a week off and then kind of thing. Try to not overfeed them and keep the meals appropriate because, like you said, they're not going to breed for 6-7 years, so don't actually need to get them big necessarily. Unlike the ring pythons, which don't seem to grow unless you feed them a lot and regularly. So those guys because I have a yearling that's almost the same size as this year's baby. Like it's already going through her color change. So with both of them, I'm just feeding them like 2 pinks a meal every. Like I think I could do once a week, but honestly now because I'm trying to get stuff going and stuff, it's like you get a little more often now, and they've already seemed to they'll go through their sheds and stuff. So it's interesting to see how the different pythons kind of have different metabolisms.
Oh yeah, which is crazy because I not willfully neglected, but I fed my water pythons way less than any other python that I was keeping. And they are so much, I want to say healthier looking, but like they have perfect muscle tone.
Lean.
They have perfect muscle tone. They're primed. They better lock up this year. Otherwise they're getting pawned off on Billy Hunt. And it's just like that. I'm only feeding them once a month, if that now. And they're just maximizing it. So
but that's all you should do realistically, right? Like here, people are killing them with love, right? The overfeeding is insane. The only problem is that when you feed them less, they're going to be much healthier. They're going to have much more of that muscle tone, but your clutches are going to be small. Yeah. So when it's something that you start noticing after a while, like I have a lot more clutches that are much more small. I have a lot more of like the 8 to 12 range, when before I had these gigantic fat snakes and I'd get clutches of 40. Like I've had massive, insane amount of clutches and like
from the carpet.
So the big original jungle, her first clutch was 46 with 40 that were good.
Oh.
She's had 2 clutches after in the 30s, like high 30s. And after that, I stopped. I kept slimming her down. Her last 2 clutches, and she's had a total of 6 clutches now. Last 2 clutches were around the 16, 18 mark. So but she's huge. She's almost 8 feet long, but she used to be like this big around. Now she's maybe this big around. So it just took a long time to slim them down. But if your snakes are smaller, you get much smaller clutches.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they look healthier. They look better. And I assume they're going to live longer. Like, I can't see that female living too long. And already she's either giving me 6 or 7 clutches. And like, even that's a miracle for a python to give that many clutches.
Wow. That's pretty awesome, man. Very cool.
And she gave you that Partho clutch too, right?
Yeah, she didn't give me a Partho. So the thing that was
it's
interesting
retained
is,
sperm.
so I stopped feeding her. Sorry, I didn't stop feeding her. I stopped breeding her 1 year because she had bred 4 years in a row. And I was like, I need to get this girl a year off. And she wasn't looking too great. Never paired her, never, just kept her completely separate. But the room cools down, the room goes up. And because the room cools down, I can't feed her. So she still cycled normally. And then she got gravid. And she laid a clutch of, I want to say, in about the 20 range. And out of those 20, there was 3 good eggs in there. So she's just a normal jungle. I incubated the eggs purely out of curiosity. Out of the 3, I got 2 to hatch out. And 1 was a normal and 1 was a zebra. And she's a normal. So she was bred to a zebra the year before. So it confirmed its retained sperm, which is kind of cool because it showed that
super cool.
Showed that she could keep sperm for over a year. We were looking at about 13 or 14 months the last time she was paired up with a male. So that baby survived. I mean, it was a cool experiment, but because of that, she has bred. She's at year 6 or year 7 of breeding in a row.
Wow.
She will breed every single year, whether I pair her up or not. So to me, I'd rather pair. I'd rather have her pass fertile eggs than sludge.
Yeah.
It's just safer. So
yeah, absolutely. Very cool, man. Very cool.
You guys keep any pythons at all? Or you said water pythons? Anything else that you keep?
Yeah, I got a pair of waters right now, and I've got F1 MIA that I'm raising up, and I've got it's a Darwin that is unlike any Darwin I've ever seen. That is pos het albino. I don't know, but it's a runt, and it's a female, and it's probably about 3 feet. That's it.
How old?
Oh, gotta be at least 6 or 7 now. So, and I've yet to find an appropriate male to put to her. I keep my eyes peeled, but it's such a weird looking Darwin that I'm being very selective. And if I never find it, then, oh, well, she's just a cool pet.
Yeah.
So,
I wish we had pure Darwins here.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. Pure Darwins are the one thing that I can't find in Canada. I think I don't even know if we could import any from UK pythons because I don't know if they have any.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if he has any pure ones. Like,
No,
I think I saw that what's his name? Phil Starkey?
Yep.
With Star Python. He posted a picture of a pure albino. But I want the Nick Mutton normal Darwin. Because that'd be cool. Although I guess he could just get a nice looking Papuan, and that's basically the same thing, but
yes and
theoretically.
No. Yes and no.
So I also had a pair of Nova Guineas that I was raising up that were produced by Billy Hunt, and then he had slimmed down some of the collection, and I wound up giving them back to him so that he can keep the Nova Guinea thing going good. And so I had those, gave those back to him, and I think that's it for my pythons right now. Yeah, that's it.
Smitty's a closet green tree breeder still.
He is.
I'm a green tree keeper at this point, but I ain't breeding them.
Well, that's
So
interesting.
that's that female.
I like the thickness of the banding.
Yeah, and that was actually a couple years ago. She's bigger now. Excuse me. Trying to find you a more recent picture, but I don't really take her out much, you know.
How many GTPs do you have, Smitty?
9.
Okay, that's decent. Are you a hybrid breeder or are you a pure locality?
I am
Notice I didn't.
all green trees are pretty no matter what they are, so I don't even care.
He's just happy he has some nice looking green trees.
I mean, I like the idea of pure localities and stuff, but at this point, how realistically how viable is it outside of Beox? Because we're just not seeing the same amount of stuff imported, especially babies, as we used to. I don't know. I like it all though. I do love Maniquaries. All the locality stuff is great, but I love all the quote unquote designer stuff too. It's all awesome. It's just a cool species. I was explaining to somebody last night in one of the group chats, like they're probably the most boring snake you'll ever keep. And if they weren't pretty, I don't think anybody would really do anything with them because they're just frankly boring, but they're awesome. Like the natural history side of them is really interesting, I think. I keep saying each year, like, okay, I'm going to make an effort to food cycle and I'm going to make an effort to breed and get something to happen. And this year I'm serious about it, and I'm going to start ramping up food with the girls here soon. We'll see.
Yeah, that hobby history too with Trooper and Rico and all those guys, just it's super neat to hear. And Tim, right? Just hearing Tim talk about how he got into it, kind of thing. That never gets old. Yeah. Those are always good episodes to listen to. Like keeping them in the jars back in the 90s with Trooper and that. Like that just sounds freaking cool. Or hearing Eugene talk about it, like all that stuff. That history part is almost what makes it just as interesting. Although like a green snake with some white flecking is pretty fucking cool.
That's why I like the Maniquaries and stuff like that, man, is like the blues you can get with a lot of those locales and stuff. It's just whether it's like an electric blue or like a chalky pastel-y blue, like on top of the green, man. I love it.
Oh yeah.
I like that a lot.
Love those colors.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
It's tough to beat a really good looking Darwin.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, she had a boyfriend that was her clutch mate, and he just rolled out of nowhere like 3 years ago. So I don't know what happened. He just something's funny. But
sounds like Nick Mutton needs to give you a call.
I was going to say, reach out to Nick Mutton. He's got so much. Maybe put in a reduced pattern Darwin with him, like not a head of anything, just one that has much larger bands and much less color. I bet you would look really good with that.
Yeah, that's good, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I got to figure out what I'm gonna do with that F1 MIA, and I don't know. I think Billy has some non-zebra stuff that he's been holding back that I might just throw that MIA male to and see just give it to him for like a weekend, just put him in a bunch of tanks, see what happens, and go from there, because I'm just super indecisive nowadays. And I love Morelia, man. It's like my go-to python, but I just the room is a desert room now, and with the exception of those two carpets, it's not fair. It's not.
They're really resilient, though. I bet you they do fine. I bet you they shed perfectly fine.
They do. It's gross. I put them on the cooler side of the room, and it's gross how good they do, man. The perfect sheds, just drinking, eating, living, pooping, what's that?
I was gonna say you probably could just keep a small humidity box in one corner with mulch and just keep a little bit more damp, and even if the rest is super dry and all that, they're gonna shed perfectly fine every time.
Yeah. Well, they're so I have cypress mulch on a handful of things. They're the only ones that get a spray like every other week. I just like hose down one side of the enclosure, and that lasts for at least 2 weeks before it quote unquote dries out. Just because the room's ambient like 84, 83 for the most part. And then man, I was gonna say something about pythons. Oh, and I know that Brettles would be phenomenal in that room, but I could not give them the right size enclosure, and I'd feel bad. I would. Yeah. Same thing with the Angolans, man. I really want Angolans. I think they would do great in my desert room, but the size, man. I just don't have that space right now. So
hey, you can always just get one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think one day when I want to set up my Angolans in like a cool display thing, because I think I know Dom says they're not like arboreal, but hearing Owen talk about how he puts stuff in his cage and they seem to use it. I'm not talking about giving them like branches to sit on, but I mean like giving them like some nice shelves or make some fake
Oh,
rock
yeah.
ledges kind of
Oh,
thing
for sure, man.
with some hides. Like I'm
For
sure they
sure.
would just sit on it.
They
I don't
Absolutely.
will.
expect.
Give them a lot of intertwining branches. As long as they've got like
Okay.
3, 4, 5 points of contacts, they'll fully perch in there purely because they've got nowhere else to go. Right? They're going to use it, but I'm sorry, it's not an arboreal.
Yeah, they're not
Right.
going to do the green tree thing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
any
man.
projects that you guys are thinking of maybe doing, whether it's now or in 10 years kind of thing? Do you guys have any projects that are like turtles or something different or some snake species that you're like, maybe one day I want to just maybe do those?
Rough scales and inlands for me.
Rain frogs. 1000%. I want Namaquid rain frogs. I do. I want Namaquid rain frogs. I just don't want to pay for them. And goddamn, they are expensive, those little bastards. And I still want to do some Cordillidie stuff. I do. I still want Cataphractus. I still want more southeastern or southern African girdle stuff. I still have a Parodigianus, and I fucked up last year. I didn't cool them right. I didn't, and I'm just gonna kill their temps like in a week or two. I'm just gonna turn it all off, and I'm hoping to pair. Hopefully they go. They're living together. Hopefully they go again this year, and then if they do produce, I'm probably gonna try and do some horse trading with their offspring. But other than that, I mean, snakes. I need more subocs. Got to make more so I can horse trade.
We need to find some more locality subocs. Like
I
we got the
know,
Wild
I
Rose
know.
Pass, but I want to.
But dude,
like, I want, like,
that
Christmas
highway
Mountains
is
or something.
Yeah, dude, that highway is how long? That highway stretch is like
Well, yeah,
28 miles.
Yeah, they're Davis. Well, it sounds like where they were collected is like pretty close to River Road.
So
like,
no,
but like
it's
you
not,
could technically breed them to River Road, and
I would
call them.
I would say no. I'm pretty sure
Davis Mountain, but
weren't they like north? They're like 15, 20 miles north of Fort Davis, right? Isn't that what's supposed to be? I never asked Nemo.
Talking to Craig and Nemo, they both made it sound like when I talked to Nemo, he's like, well, they're from Wild Rose Pass, close to River Road, kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
So like, I think they're just from like
just vague enough.
I think they're from some cut that's probably like on the way to River Road, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
like, you could technically breed them with a River Road and just call them Davis Mountain subocs. It wouldn't be incorrect. I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to get like Christmas Mountains or the some stuff from around El Paso even. There were some funky pictures in that book of some cool looking subocs.
And then Dustin and Valentine, they found, or maybe it might have just been Dustin, found a subok on just west of El Paso, going back to their home in Arizona on the New Mexico side, and that thing looked cool as hell, man.
Oh, that's cool.
That was like almost yellow, like
but
like
those are a no. Those are like a no collect one, right? New Mexico is totally different than Texas.
Yeah,
okay,
but they saw it look cool.
Still cool. Oh yeah,
still cool.
Not that even if I go out there, I would collect anything. Because honestly,
right.
Even herping here, it's like I would love to have a rubber boa, but we're not allowed to collect anything here. And honestly, it's like even if you did and didn't say anything, it's like I don't know. It's just so there's no reason to keep.
And at the same time,
it's nice just to
you can't share it with anybody.
And experience it.
Yeah.
And then you can just you never actually want to keep it. You're just like, it's cool. Let's go find the next one, kind of thing. But then in the moment, I don't even take too many pictures. Honestly, it's just cool to like see it what it's doing, help them across the road, and then
of course,
famous
help them across the road. After I flipped it, I helped it across the road.
Well, actually, all the rubber boas I've found have road cruised at night.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool.
I was making
a joke, man. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't joking. It was. I would need to flip some. That would be cool to flip some. But no. Once we set up camp at 3 a.m. beside a lake, where like we're in rubber boa territory, but we're like and then it's like I'm gonna go for a walk, 10 steps from the tent. There's a rubber boa.
Wow, that's awesome.
3 o'clock in the morning
That's
after we
cool,
found
man.
4 on the road already that day. That was an awesome night.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
no, that
cool.
was awesome.
And this year will be the first year I ever pair Arizona Mountain Kings. So I'm excited about that. We'll see if they do their thing. And the girl's actually from Keith McPeak, so I'm kind of like, I'm proud. I want to do them right on that one. But and I'm also going to pair Sarasis this year. Our good friend Justin
Jason Keller.
Jason Keller, Jesus, too many people's names in this podcast. Jason Keller produced them this year. Big, beautiful adults, big, beautiful babies. Stoked for him.
That he's having to assist feed.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to try and duplicate that this year come April, but my girl's still small. So if my girl is still smaller than the boy by then, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait another year. So,
yeah, I remember watching. Was it another part of me getting into reptiles before I even had sand boas? Was watching. Was it back in 08, 09? Watching freaking the egg cutting videos, but also you stumble across alcorets with the saw scale vipers and stuff. Being like a 7-8-year-old, being like, this is cool.
Yeah, man. Oof. Yeah.
The good old days of Viper Keeper.
Yeah. He's still doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I haven't looked that stuff up in 10 years probably.
Check
Yeah.
More.
periodically and see what he's posted.
Same with the egg molester, but yeah. As soon as I got back in after before the end of high school, I got back into keeping stuff, and it was like, yeah, I can't watch this. Can't watch the other guys that are like that anymore. It's like, because when I was a kid, it was like, oh, I've got to wake up at 5 a.m. and watch the video every morning, and now it's like, no. Just you kind of hit that stage of like, I can't look at this, but then we fall in, and then I think out of nowhere I saw an NPR episode pop up on Facebook with Don Patterson in 2019 or 18, and that was what got me into the rabbit hole. And then obviously I started watching Smitty and Brats on it and stuff, and then that got me down this rabbit hole.
How it happens, man. It's how it happens.
Haven't left it.
That's it. I was a listener before I met this goofball, and the rest is history. You know, it's how we do it.
Yeah.
It's funny when you hear what people used to listen to, like all the YouTube. I didn't watch that. To me, it was all about the Crocodile Hunter. I would record every single episodes on your VCR, and I'd have all the tapes, and I'd keep popping them all in one after the other. And then when later I got back into reptiles after getting out, and I started seeing them all on YouTube, and I would see, so I guess prehistoric pets. I'm assuming that's who you were talking about.
I was trying not to name anybody.
Sorry, am I not supposed to? He who shall not be named, although that's somebody else. But there's another person I want to say that passed away there. I apologize. That was a really famous YouTuber.
Yeah, Brian Bartlett.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he did a lot of amazing things, but when you're talking about 15, 20 years ago, a lot of his stuff was, I'm going to say, slightly controversial back then.
And that's
actually, I would say his original stuff.
Yeah, and
I loved it. It was actually like you could see him as a keeper. Like you knew he was. It was more later, but I know what he was trying to do was he was still growing it.
Well, it's flat out. It's the guy knew.
Kids change these days too, right? So you have to appeal.
The guy knew his shit. He had amazing animals. He was killing it in breeding. He was killing it in keeping. He had a wealth of knowledge. But then he realized, I can get paid for being a personality on the internet. Pff, roll with it. And that's where we lost
it. It got sensationalized and to the point where I couldn't watch it. I would just remove it, but then everybody would always be approaching me like, "Oh my God, did you see this guy do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't watch that."
Yeah, nope. You shouldn't.
Nope. It's so. That.
But I think it still helped the hobby.
Of course,
people
sure.
grow out of it, right?
Yeah.
People get into it doing that, and then they realize keeping and stuff and whatnot. So I wouldn't call it a full negative either, because he did put his heart and soul into it.
No, and I would never speak
tons of positive from it.
Yeah, I would never speak ill of him, right? I wouldn't. But some of those videos, in the context in which the videos are not good for handling and or keeping. So,
but if you look back at all the people that used to do it. When you look back, even as far back as the crocodile hunter, like Steve Irwin did some really inappropriate things with animals, and he did the same thing.
The sound effects and how everything was staged, you know.
But
I've rewatched some of those.
If you look at that era, that's the person that got people into it, right?
That's
Then if you look at the next era, you would have like the Jeff Corrin, and then you'd have the YouTubers, and as much as
Python Hunter was another one when I got in.
I did that one.
No, it was on OLN, same as like Duck Dynasty and stuff. But like they had, what is it? When it was like 08 to 2011, 2012, we like up here in Canada, we had Python Hunter on. I guess it's probably a different channel than you guys, and that was like that also helped spark stuff kind of thing, and it was cool.
Yeah.
And seeing the Puerto Rican, because they were keepers and herpers too, right? So it was a lot different, and it was like pretty neat to see. And the Puerto Rican boa one got me to like the weird stuff too.
Smitty and I are old school. We like Austin Stevens.
Yeah, I don't know how he's been doing. He got diagnosed with Parkinson's a couple years ago.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn. What a shame. Just trying
I liked his because of just the cinematic aspect of it. Like the production value was there. You know?
For sure.
It's like the same sensationalized kind of over the top stuff, but it's like the cinematography was freaking incredible. You know, the landscape shots were incredible. Like they put a lot of emphasis on the.
Oh yeah. Actually, rewatching the Mark O'Shea stuff too now, because it finally did pop up, because I was like, how are you guys watching this? And it finally did pop up on our Amazon too. Cool. But only some episodes. There's some episodes in the first season that still aren't available for whatever reason. It's not like the whole thing, but like it's still like super neat. And you're like, okay, I can see, because I talked to Tony Wigley with Responsible Reptile Keeping. He came here. Actually, our club helped bring him out and stuff. He's an awesome guy. You guys should have him on too, because he's super passionate about defending our hobby and stuff and whatnot. But he grew up with Mark O'Shea. He was working with him or for him at some point, doing venomous stuff with him back in the late 90s and stuff. So he was around Mark during that time. So hearing some of those stories were super neat as well. Tony's really cool, a great guy.
That's really cool. Good stuff, boys.
Oh, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we're at the witching hour. Is there anything you guys would like to touch base on?
I think I'm good.
Am I the only non-hockey fan here?
I mean, that's weird. You're Canadian.
I think it's because the 2011 Canucks just kind of ruined it for everybody. Now I watch baseball and NASCAR and Formula One, so I turned more American than Canadian.
I don't watch any of this.
Oh my god.
Racing is what I watch every day.
The most unpatriotic thing a Canadian can say.
It really is, man. It is.
It's kind of disturbing.
I'm about to jump on my moose and leave.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Well, if people want to check out the show, where do you guys have it? Where are you guys putting it up at? Like, where's it available?
So we got it on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcast, and then I recently got it onto YouTube Music. But because of how it uploads to YouTube Music, our YouTube videos are now just going to be with like non-video kind of thing, just how we upload it. So it'll just be like our background picture instead of the video, which I was separately uploading. So if people don't love that, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to do it without uploading two of the same thing, which I'm not sure people would love either.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you can hit us up on there. And then we also have Instagram with Reptile Rejects, and our YouTube is Reptile Rejects. So we tried to keep it pretty simple. And yeah, go have a listen, go subscribe, and go like us on whichever platform you decide to listen to us on.
And how often are you guys trying to upload? What's your upload schedule?
I think we're doing it every Sunday. So we film every Sunday, but we're always an episode ahead. So every Sunday we release one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if the next one doesn't work, it would be probably like a Monday or Sunday upload thing, depending on how it worked out. But that's just as like a backup kind of thing. So if it didn't come out that Sunday, that means something might have happened, and just it'll be out within a day kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
been fun. If you don't like listening to us, we have good guests though, so at least you can come listen to the guests.
That's good, man. You guys are killing it. I love it.
Yeah, we got Clint, and then Smitty, then Burke, then Bobby Pebbles, Phil Leitz, and then after that, it's kind of trying to figure out new guests. But I tried to schedule it out, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
stay as
better
late.
than
You'll
us.
notice that was all Michael scheduling, so they're all Colubert guys. So I'm gonna have to bring it back the other way because at some point I'll be like, yeah, you gotta get some.
Hey, you got
Gotta get
Burke
something
Yeah,
different.
you got Bert. You got Bert.
and Bobby Pebbles
Oh,
can
that's true.
talk about
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, but you're probably gonna just go down the rhino rat snakes and all that kind of stuff with them.
Oh, probably.
It's good, man. It's all good. I love it.
All right. Well, we will be back Thursday for Arachnerds. We've got that. Phil King has been doing a great job as far as scheduling because
Good.
none of the rest of us are any good at it.
It's all right, man.
We've got that lined up. Other than that, this episode was brought to you by blackboxcages.com. Shop around Rax Cages. You need it. They probably have it. Use the code THN25 at checkout. Get a little bit of discount. And there's also a pickup option at checkout. So if you just want to make the trek up to North Georgia, you can ride on up there, meet the Black Box crew, see the operation, grab your order, and take it home and enjoy it for a lifetime. And love every minute of it, every second. And then if you need some really comfortable shirts, Fulvius Apparel, fulviusapparel.com. Another code is THN, gets you 15% off your order. So that is the exclusive promo code for THN listeners and viewers like you. And Cold-Blooded Caffeine, the best coffee around. Snakes and Stogies blend and many others available. Use the code SMOKE. That'll get you a little bit of a discount as well. So we appreciate everybody, and we will see you later.
Bye.
It's not letting me end it.
Press the button, Spitty.
I'm
Press
trying.
Just push the little button right there.
Does it let you push it?
You want me to push the button? I'll push the button.
It's not letting me push it.